Hi, we're Team 7 or Team 17. I'm Gabby. This is Mike, Chuck, and Dan, and we made Pikachu and you. Okay, the backstory for our toy is something that I didn't know, but I learned that apparently every little boy dreams that, like, his Pokemon will come to life and he'll be able to actually do something with it. So, like, I mean, I can relate to that. I always thought, like, man, it'd be awesome if Barbie came to life, but I'm sure this is like the same thing. So, that was like the main like idea of how we got here. So, the what he is he's a tablet interactive toy that allows like kids, not just little boys, but whoever likes Pokemon, to control their Pokemon and I guess do all the things that like the cards, but you'll actually get to see him do it. Yeah. So the features, oh yeah, like he's tablet controlled. He's Bluetooth connected. When he comes on, you guys will see his light up thunder cheeks. His tail moves. He has sound, and he responds to voice command.
Okay, so I designed the app that ran the Pikachu, and basically my whole part of the project was to bring in the game and play aspect. So if you've ever played the Pokemon games, you know the battle screen. We tried to basically emulate the screen as much as possible. Let me pull it up for you. So, as you can see, it mimics the battle screen, and then you choose your Pokemon, which means it pulls up the Bluetooth menu and you connect to the Pikachu. Once it's connected, the Pikachu's attacks will be up here. He has 4 attacks: Tail Whip, Thunder, Volt Tackle, and Quick Attack, which are his main 4 attacks in most of the games. And what we have him do is each attack corresponds to different commands that are sent to the Arduino code. And then the Pikachu acts out the attacks, and in the game, you fight a virtual Charmander. And the Charmander will respond back with attacks, and the health bars will fall depending on which attacks you choose. Like different attacks have different strengths and weaknesses. So if the Charmander beats you first, then you lose the game. And then if you win, and your Pikachu has success and he wins the game, much like in the actual Pokemon games. And then a further scope is eventually we would like, if budget persists or if we had more budget, we would actually have a Charmander that the two would interact in real time with 2 tablets and 2 players. So it has a lot of scope to be really, really fun for 2-player competitive play.
All right, so I did the Arduino side of the programming and basically the controls and everything that went into it. So I guess I'm going to kind of get a little technical with you here, but basically we did most of the high processing on the tablet because it's so much more high powered than Arduino. Arduino is good for doing simple operations. So basically I took bytes from his code and we sent it over Bluetooth to the Arduino, and then we executed commands based on those bytes. So I guess we'll move to the next slide and we'll demo this at the end for you.
Yeah, before we do that, this is a CAD class, so we did make a CAD model. Everyone wants to see the actual demo, so I'm going to go through this kind of quickly. We have simulated movement of what it is supposed to do, which hopefully it loads. Yeah, so it's supposed to do that, and then Chuck and Dan will show you what it actually does.
Okay, so just turn it on, and he lights up, and so you start your app, and it says Pikachu and you. Oh, sorry. So it says Pikachu and you, battle, and so you can press battle, and it goes to choose a Pokemon. Right now we only have Pikachu, so I'll select Pikachu. Yeah, and this thing might fall off the table. We'll see. Hold on. So I have the 4 attacks like he was talking about on the battle screen. So I'll just try one. Say we'll use Thunder. Okay, so Charmander's health bar went down from the attack, and so did Pikachu's because Charmander attacked back. So he's got a couple more. He's got 3 more attacks. We'll use Quick Attack next. So as you can see, he kind of behaves a little erratically, but it depends on how charged the battery is sometimes. So that's something we would fix with our hardware later on. And this one's kind of dangerous. I'll use the tail whip attack, which I think is my favorite one. So, and then, so you can just like finish the battle out. And when you win the battle, the screen comes up and it says, you know, yeah, I'll do it. So it says you win, play. It's okay, turn it off. Okay, so it says you win, play again, so I can play again. And so for the future, what we want to do is battle another Pokemon and possibly keep stats on board. So you can like level up your Pokemon and his attacks will get stronger and you can unlock different moves. He'll do different things. But yeah, that's okay. So that's things we could do with it down the road. We need to fix a few things in hardware, as you see, make it more consistent. But so that's what we ended up with. We're pretty happy with it. Do you guys have any questions?
So I love the technology and the tangible integration. I love when you can take technology and bring it to life, as you were talking about earlier. I think it's everyone's dream to bring their toys to life. I really enjoy that you have lights in the cheeks. Further going forward, things that have like lights, the eyes, like facial expression, ears moving, because the disadvantage is from the front view, you don't see anything moving. And it's nice to have a little bit more animation. I know it's hard as an initial product to do. And can you lift the product to see the underside?
Yeah, we made the underside clear so that you can kind of see in. It's pretty much a mess, but that's because we didn't really actually build a circuit board. We did it through wires, which was something that I would change later on. But
What do you use as the front?
the front is a caster wheel, and then the back we have two independent motors to control moving directions.
Turn around for like the tail whip attack and stuff.
Yeah, so we might change the caster idea later on, but like I said, we're kind of limited with our time and stuff like that.
His arms were supposed to move like simultaneously with his tail, but it was just like in terms of the constraint of like getting the SLA modeling and sort of like, yeah, it just like initially, yeah, he was supposed to move like from the front and the back, but.
And do you intend on working on this further? Anyone in the group?
If we had the opportunity, I'd definitely like to.
So I also really enjoy anything where digital and physical are being interacted together. And I have a 7-year-old nephew who loves Pokemon, and so I could see him really liking this toy. So it was brought up early, safety kids. You guys have a tail that's pretty sharp, pointy. What could you do or modify in your design to make it more
I think even
kid-friendly?
with this, like that tail is made out of acrylic, so I mean we could retain the shape, but just cover it in cloth or cover the entire thing in cloth would automatically make it a little bit more kid-friendly, so it's not so like dangerous. Like even putting something on like the, because the base is modeled as Pokemon Stadium, so even putting something on the edges to make it a little bit softer.
And then one other question. So you had mentioned that they could have like a battle, and I'm really not familiar with Pokemon, but I know that they do like crazy things, like jump and stuff. How do you see that interaction? Like, are they like running into each other, or are they?
I know.
How does that work?
I know. I envisioned it like almost like since it's a tablet like interactive like app. Not that they'd actually physically like combat each other, but most of the like hit points and everything would happen on your app. But you would see the motion between the two, like almost like the two of them would recognize each other, and then the battle would be conducted on your actual tablet, as well as like the data, like maybe even a profile for it.
Also, we would carry like the stats on board. So you would have to have your Pikachu with you or the actual physical toy in order to activate your code, because depending on how much you trained him or whatever, that stuff, right? That would affect his.
I really like bringing your data online because I could visualize you have a field, and then you can play virtually with other people, bringing the telepresence. So you can be competing with someone in Florida and you see it in real life, and your brother or sister can watch interactively. So
And
that's really cool.
Breeding the data, you can actually, in the future, we'd like to, if we were to pursue it, you could import your stats from the game. So you'd be able to train them on the Nintendo games and then put them onto the toys, so you'll see all your hard work actually come true. And then going off of her question about the them running into each other. Another thing is a lot of recent tablet toy controls have had the toys themselves actually send feedback of their location if we had like a board down on there. And then the Pokemon could interact with each other and know their exact locations, which would be really cool because you could get them almost making contact with each other, but recognizing their limit. So it would look as if they're attacking each other, but never actually making contact.
And if you were to bring it to market, you could have features that you unlock with different coins and different accessories, different moves, and you could keep going and have more advanced players and all of that. So that's pretty cool.
And having like different Pokemon released, so one app can obviously supply the different Pokemon, which has a lot. Kids are probably going to want to collect them all. So.
Yeah. Very good.
Most of our houses are carpeted, so how well will this run on a carpet surface?
It depends on how well the battery's charged, really. So it'll run on carpet, not as well as this, obviously. That's another thing that we would look to improve in the future, adding more powerful motors. Like I said, the hardware really needs upgraded. We were kind of limited by our hardware in this situation, but later on we would look to upgrade that.
What is the closest toy on the market to this thought? Are there telepresence cars? Are there telepresence toys right now?
I've heard it compared to a Furby a lot.
But
I haven't
Furby
seen a
isn't-
tablet interact with a toy that much.
I'm pretty sure Furby has an app.
It has an app.
But
where-
can you interact with people from somewhere else?
No, not as far as that, no.
Okay.
I can try. We didn't put it in because we didn't have the time. We had it working there. I showed you it in class. I don't know if you were in the class when I demonstrated, but that's a different app. I don't know. I'm gonna try it. I'll see if it'll work.
Do you know what question it's going to send?
We'll see what happens.
You might want to hold it up in the air just in case.
Okay. So I don't know. I have the code written, and it's gonna do something. So thunder. Okay.
So it does, yeah.
So yeah. So well, that obviously was the wrong command because I changed the commands around. But yeah, we weren't really going to demonstrate that today. But since you asked. Yeah.
Somehow weird.
Any other questions?
All right. Thank you.